Hi, this is a really fun thing and a very rare opportunity in our DC metro area and in the surrounding counties in Virginia and Maryland. There's an auction of a very large old farm estate out in Berryville, Virginia. It's on 415 acres and has great history. The Washington family actually owned it in the 1700s at one point. The original old manor house, which is spectacular, was built in the 1830s. It's being auctioned by a company named Hall and Hall, who are auctioneers from out west who have 20 offices around the country, but they really specialize in these large estate properties and big farms and ranches out west mainly. Although they've been doing some stuff on the East Coast as well. This is this beautiful piece of rolling open farm ground that is around the property in the Shenandoah Valley and the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I'm really lucky enough to have a client who asked me to represent him. So we've been out here a number of times and we've done research on comparable sales of other types of properties like this, although there aren't many, and brought contractors out to look at the property and evaluate the condition and the costs of doing things. And you can see this beautiful pond down on the property that's actually visible from the main house, and all the hay bales because it's actively a cattle ranch. There are a number of beautiful old outbuildings, old stone buildings that were built very early on. And as we're coming up the hill to the beautiful, big white, massive column manor home, the house was actually built out of brick, and they stuccoed the outside of it and made it look like it was built out of limestone. And it really appears after looking at it that it's been that way for a very long time, if not original. So you can see there's one of the stables there, and here's the house from the front, which is just a wonderfully landscaped space, and a beautiful old stone building off to the right, which is actually, we believe, the old kitchen. There's a spring house, that's the original spring house, which has a pool down in front of it, which we'll see in a minute. And you can see the beautiful views on this side. And then old stone barns and garages and outbuildings, the silos, lots of room for equipment and other structures for equipment, and beautiful fences that extend all the way around the property, cordoning off some fields and also, but I think extending all the way to the property lines. Pretty amazing. As we come down, you'll get to see this infinity pool and the structure around it. There's this beautiful stone wall that elevates this pool up above the tennis court down below. And this is one of the original old stone walls. You can see the old boxwoods and the view. And that was a guest house down there to the left. And the old trees, it's just an extraordinary view, an extraordinary piece of property, and we're getting ready for the auction. So I can't obviously take video of the auction itself, but I can come back and check back in a minute, and I'll let you know what happens. So after the auction, I'm here to tell you that there were about 75 people there for the auction event, and 12 or 13 were actual bidders on the property. My client and I had a strategy going in about how we were going to approach this, and we allowed the bidding to go on for a little while. It started at a minimum bid of $4 million, rose very quickly up to the mid-fives. As people started to drop out, there were only a couple of serious bidders left, and we got involved. And we ended up winning the bid and the property at just under $7.5 million. An extraordinary outcome and a beautiful place.